It's time.
Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and in today's video, I'm sharing lots of hot lunches and lots of colorful food. Recently, we've been having some really chilly weather here in Florida, so I thought this would be the perfect time to make my kids some of their favorite hot lunches for school. For Friday's lunch, however, the kids were off, so we headed to the opening day of the Festival of the Arts at EPCOT for our lunch. So stay tuned, you guys, because I'll be sharing all of the colorful things we tried for lunch, as well as all of the fun treats we also tried. Now, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now come join our family and let the lunches begin. I'm kicking things off with one of Lily's favorite hot lunches, which is actually one of her favorite dinners too. I'm going for kind of a rainbow unicorn theme for this lunch, and I'm going to preheat Lily's thermos with some boiling hot water. Then I have to move on to her sweet treat. Last week I found these Lisa Frank sugar cookies at Target, and I knew they would be so fun for today's lunch. And for those of you who are my age, you'll probably remember Lisa Frank being all the rage back in the day. But you guys, these sugar cookies don't actually have a rainbow on them, but they do have a really cute little pink unicorn. While those are in the oven, I can move on to the main course, which is technically leftovers. First, I'm going to dump out that hot water. This really does help the food stay hot until lunchtime. And then I went ahead and reheated some of our lazy lasagna. Here's how I made it. In my 9x13 pan, I added about 1 cup of pasta sauce. Any flavor will do, but we really love this one. Then I took half a bag of frozen ravioli, and I added a layer of these right to the bottom. Now, you could use meat ravioli, but Lily prefers the kind with just cheese and no meat. And you guys, you do not have to pre-cook these at all. They can go in here frozen and it'll work just fine. On top of that, I added about 1 cup of cottage cheese. Now, if you are not a fan of cottage cheese, you can definitely leave that out, but it does make this dish nice and cheesy, and it adds more protein in here too. Next, I added half of the remaining pasta sauce, followed by the other half of ravioli. I added about 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and I poured on about half of the remaining pasta sauce. Now, to complete this, I added the other half of the frozen ravioli, topped that with another cup of shredded mozzarella, and about half a cup of Parmesan. Now, this part is optional, but I do like to add a little bit of dried Italian herbs on here too. This cooks covered for about 30 minutes, then uncovered for another 20 minutes. And when it's nice and bubbly like this, you know it's done. Now you can probably see why this is called lazy lasagna. This is so quick and easy to put together, and of course it makes great leftovers for lunch the next day. Now, moving on to Lily's fruit, I am going for a rainbow here. So first I'm adding strawberries, next some pineapple, and then for her veggie, some carrots. For a salty snack, I'm adding these potato and lentil curls from Trader Joe's, and then that leaves me with just enough space for a couple of those unicorn sugar cookies. Next, I'm throwing in some yogurt, and for Lily's drink, she's getting some water in her unicorn water bottle. Now moving on to a lunch for my son Griffin. You guys know he loves mac and cheese, and I recently made this taco mac and cheese for dinner, and you guys, it is so good. Now for this lunch, I am going with a Cars theme. We love the movie Cars, but we especially love the Cars ride at Disneyland. You guys, I just found the video where Lily went on the Cars ride for the very first time. I think she was only like 3 or 4 years old. It was so cute. I would love to know in the comments down below if any of you have ever been on this ride before. Now, like I said, for Griffin's main course, he's getting some leftover taco mac and cheese. Here's how I made it. In a big old pot, I cooked up 2 boxes of deluxe mac and cheese. The Annie's kind is our favorite. And then in a separate skillet, I cooked 1 pound of turkey. Now you could also use beef. I added 1 packet of low sodium taco seasoning and 1 can of mild Rotel tomatoes. Now you guys, even though these are mild, they're still kind of spicy. So if you're not a fan of spice, you can definitely leave it out or just use half a can. So while the meat mixture was cooking, I went ahead and drained the pasta and I added in the cheese. Then it was time to combine the 2 together. Once everything gets mixed together, it's ready to serve. This one is so cheesy and full of flavor. Now when I go to reheat this, I like to add a splash of milk and a little bit of shredded cheese. This really helps if the mac and cheese gets a little bit dry, because when you add things to a thermos, the saucier foods tend to stay hotter longer. So like if you packed soup in a thermos, that's gonna stay hotter for longer than if you were to pack something more dry, like chicken nuggets or a grilled cheese. Griffin's fruit and veggies, I'm going with a stoplight pattern, and that's to go with our Cars theme. So I'm adding tomatoes for a red light, yellow carrots for a yellow light, and of course, for a green light, I'm adding some green grapes. For a salty snack on the side, I'm adding in some bugles. Now I think these look just like little traffic cones. And then for the sweet treat, I'm going to add in just 1 of these mini donuts. I think the chocolate ones look a lot like little tires. Lastly, in addition to water, I'm also packing Griffin a Good to Grow with a Cars topper. Okay friends, now that brings me to a hot lunch for Mackenzie. This one is extremely quick and easy, and it's perfect to throw together in the morning before you head out the door. For this lunch, I've gotten out all of our Hello Kitty lunch supplies, and for Kenzie's main course, I'm going to start by tossing some fully cooked frozen meatballs into my air fryer. Now you guys, if you have never cooked frozen meatballs in an air fryer before, I totally recommend it. It is so easy and only takes about 10 minutes. Now I like to serve meatballs over rice, but when I don't have any leftover rice, the next best things are these little rice packets. These only take about 90 seconds in the microwave, and they come in lots of different flavors and types of rice. After the meatballs have cooked for about 8 minutes, I like to take them out, give them a stir, and then squirt on some barbecue sauce. Now of course, you can use whatever kind of barbecue sauce is your favorite, but Mackenzie's favorite is this Japanese style one. This one has soy sauce, ginger, garlic, onion, rice vinegar, and sesame oil. Oh yes, and this barbecue sauce is on the thinner side. It's not really thick and sticky like the US barbecue sauce would be, and it's on the salty side, so I'm making sure not to add too much. While the food is still piping hot, I'm going to go ahead and add in the rice and the meatballs into Kenzie's preheated thermos. For Mackenzie's fruit, I'm going to pack her some kiwi. I went ahead and cut these with a zigzag shape just to make them pretty. To go along with that, I'm also adding some strawberries, and I'm going to fill in the gaps with some mandarin oranges. Next, for her veggie, I have a couple of different chopped salad kits for her to choose from. My girls and I love these salad kits, and they come in so many different styles and flavors. Now, Mackenzie chose the avocado toast flavored one. This one also comes with little bagel chips instead of croutons, and it comes with avocado ranch for the dressing. Now to get some extra veggies in here, I'm also adding some cucumbers and some carrots. Next, for her sweet treat, I was able to find these new Hello Kitty goldfish grams at Target. And you guys, these ones are so cute, and they're strawberry shortcake flavored. If you spot these at Target, you gotta grab a bag. Lastly, I'm sending Kenzie with plenty of water in her Hello Kitty water bottle. Okay guys, today for Jackson's lunch, I'm going with breakfast-inspired food with a Pokemon theme. Jackson loves breakfast burritos, so I'm going to pack him some mini ones that he can DIY at lunchtime. To make this hot lunch quick and easy, I'm going to start with these fully cooked turkey sausages. These take just about 5 minutes in the air fryer. Then, in a separate bowl, I'm going to add about 6 eggs. Now note, these are not all for Jackson. These are going to go into several lunches, so I think 6 is a good number. And then to get more protein in here, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. Oh yes, and I season this with plenty of salt and pepper. Next, I'm adding some butter to my skillet, and I'm just going to scramble this up. Now, fun fact you guys, scrambled eggs are one of the first things that Jackson learned to cook for himself a while back. But he cooks them a little bit differently than I do. He likes his scrambled eggs to be well done, like literally browned, almost burnt if you ask me. But of course, since these eggs are not all for just Jackson, I won't be burning them today. Now at this point, I like to turn the skillet off, and I'm going to put the cover on to help the cheese melt. But while this filling is still piping hot, I can go ahead and add it to Jackson's thermos that I already preheated. Now for the DIY part, I'm going to pack Jackson some tortillas on the side. That way he can build his own mini breakfast burritos himself. And I just added these to a reusable snack bag. Next, I'm adding in lots of red colored food to represent a Pokeball. Jackson's getting strawberries, some tomatoes, and a Baby Bell cheese that I'm gonna try to make look like a Pokeball. For a salty snack, Jackson's getting some cheddar puffs, and on the side, I'm also including little containers of salsa, and these are for Jackson to add into his mini breakfast burritos. Now on the side, for a bit of a sweet treat, I found these Pokemon graham crackers at Walmart, and you guys, these are so fun. These little cookies have little Pokemon faces on them too. Lastly, in addition to water, I'm also going to make Jackson a Pikachu punch. This is just equal parts lemonade and pineapple juice. This punch is a nice yellow color, just like Pikachu. Now that brings me to Friday's lunch. Now Friday was the opening day of the Festival of the Arts at EPCOT. This is such a fun and colorful festival full of art and of course food. For lunch on this day, our first stop was to a booth called Pop Eat. Here we tried 2 different types of grilled cheese and tomato soup. The regular grilled cheese was good, the kids loved this one, but I'd say the pimento grilled cheese was definitely the winner. This sandwich had cheese, bacon, and fried green tomatoes. Oh yes, and the soup was pretty good too. Next, we moved on to a booth called Deco Delight. This is where we tried the Neapolitan dessert trio. This came with a chocolate tart, a vanilla bean cheesecake, and some strawberry mousse. Now this one definitely got a 10 out of 10 for presentation, but probably just a 5 out of 10 for the taste. Next, Kenzie and I really wanted to try just about everything on the menu from the booth in Japan. First, we tried the Wagyu steamed bun. This one was nice and fluffy, it was very beefy, and it had a sauce that tasted very similar to the bachan barbecue sauce that I used in Kenzie's lunch. Next, we were brave and we decided to try the sushi donut. This had salmon, tuna, shrimp, and cucumber. It also had sesame and a wasabi sriracha sauce. Now, I'm glad I tried this one, but it was definitely more Kenzie's favorite than anyone else. And then lastly, from the Japan booth, we also tried the Ichigo Mochi Daifuku. This is a strawberry and red bean filled mochi ball. It also comes with strawberry cream, some fresh strawberries, and a strawberry pocky stick. Our last stop was at the Odyssey building to not only get this amazing looking rainbow cake, but it's also where you can find the new Figment popcorn bucket. We were able to mobile order this, which was awesome, and it came with some rainbow popcorn inside. The popcorn bucket itself looks just like the Figment ride. Inside the bucket, there's actually a little rainbow and a little Figment, and the bucket itself lights up too. Now friends, I would love to know in the comments down below if you would try any of these festival foods that we tried. And I'd also love to know what your favorite hot lunch is. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.